Hello everyone, Tom Davis, Red 4 Reviews, and this is my after video for Urban Rifleman by Patriot Training, my handy dandy certificate. So the bottom line up front, would I train with Patriot Training again? The answer to that question is no. And I go through the reasons why now. If you want to stick around, and there's more to it than that. So I would ask that you kind of stick around and listen to what I'm saying, because I did get some training value out of it. However, I have got no intentions of going back unless some things are changed. So one of the reasons I would not go back, it was just too much time was wasted. We spent from 8:30 until 5:30. It was 6 when I noticed or when I left the range, and I looked, and so from about 8:30 in the morning until about 6 the afternoon or the evening on Saturday. Today we left. It was right about 5 when I was pulling out. So, but of that time, there was probably 6-7 hours that was just, to me, felt wasted. I really struggled today. It's at a couple points to like hang in and complete the training. So that was so that was part of it. Another part of it was that during the course of instruction, and I noticed Clay was not wearing iPro. It's on the packing list. Everywhere else I've ever been, if you is in charge of something, you should be doing the same thing you're expecting everybody else to do. That's it. In the Army, one of the tenets of making a on-the-spot correction is to be correct yourself. I think that holds true with about anything that you do. So, and then there was another student. He instructs also, but he was taking the class. No iPro. So that was, and I don't know. To me, it was a big deal. So, and when I made the correction, you know, he didn't freak out on me or whatever, but just said, you know, yep, I accept the risk. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, if you're, to me, that's no good. If you're gonna be out in front of somebody and you're expecting me to do that, then you should be setting the example, if you will. So that, yeah, the biggest, that was my biggest deal with it. Really was that I'm kind of doing this like the day of completion. Part of it is because as one of the final slides in the debrief from it was, Clay asked us to do this today. And now I will say, he does on the website offer, it has a 100% money back guarantee. It was never presented like through the normal course of things or at the end of it, like I would expect it. I've been to other places that have the same type of thing, and they ask at the end of the class if anyone was not satisfied and would like to get their money back. That wasn't the case, and there was a part during the class where where Clay was asking everyone as we were doing a drill, you know, if they're having a good time or something to that effect. And my turn came up, and he's like, I'm not going to ask you because I'm going to wait to see it in the review. So, and I struggled with going back in because at the end of the day, I was not 100% satisfied with the class. But to me, it's not about the money. And if I were not doing the videos, it wouldn't even have been, I would have thought about it, but I don't think I would have asked for it back. But it is out there. So, you know, whether I have no reason to believe that that Clay wouldn't honor that. It's just, to me, you know, that was why I didn't ask. the day of, and nor now that the class is actually over with, would I'm not trying to go back and say that, that I should get my money back. So I just want, anyone out there to know that there is the money back guarantee. So, ask for it and see if you're not satisfied. You make up your own mind if you want to go train. Because that being said, and part of the struggle with that too was that the material I was good with. I actually picked up a few new things that I'm gonna practice, see if I'm gonna incorporate into my normal my normal routine, if you will, how I operate. So there is that. And they just kind of, and I believe Clay is going to watch this. He said he will, or he was gonna. So I would hope that what I say would be taken in. And Clay, you do watch it, reach out. You should have my email. And if you want some more detail, I will certainly be willing to give it. But at the end of the day, it's your class, and you teach it the way you want. There was some other things in this too, in the instruction, and part of it is I'm noticing it a trend. I will say I'm being a little more critical of the instruction I'm receiving. Not critical, but I'm watching and I'm keying in on some things. And at the front end of the class, and I liked it in that he didn't change the meaning of our 4 universal firearm safety rules, but he framed them in the positive. And so I was like, okay, awesome. That's good stuff, because we, to be positive about things, frame them that way, is to me is a better way of doing business. But then we spent a whole bunch of time talking about, and I understand is joking, but at a point it becomes like it was too much. Talking about get up on the line. I've seen you guys shoot. That, like I said, it became excessive. And then to me, and to the point of like, all right, well, I'm here to learn to shoot better. And are you joking now, or is it? Like I said, I wouldn't doubt that it was, we're joking the whole time, but very distracting. Now, I said that standing around was just, yeah, like I said, about 6 hours. We could have had more reps in the things we were doing, or done what was on the schedule for us to learn and left. So, some of the adult learning concepts, just tell me what to do and then let me do it. Afterwards, you can tell me, how I messed it up. Don't do this. Do it this way. I would even say just, hey, do it this way versus what you just did. So, but it was a lot of, don't do it this way. Don't do it, like a bunch of don't do it this way. And then I'm not going to say all of them, but generally going through, would start telling us, and Clay did the primary instructing on it. So, this is mainly with Clay. There was another instructor, and he pitched a little bit, but primarily this was Clay. But go through and take very great pains to explain stuff, and then tell us we're going to mess it up anyway, which I will admit is typically true. I've been to enough classes to know that is the case. But why set yourself up? And I will say in this class, and I would say I've seen more problems with doing drills than I have in some other classes. There were no safety, there were no safety concerns or anything like that. So this was just the use of my time, really, and then some of the techniques used, or methods used in instruction. And yeah, so I said, tell me what you want me to do, and then let me do it. There are some different methodologies to that. Tell me what you want me to do, have me practice it dry, and then turn me loose. And there was some of that in there also, but and then one, and I don't know if this is how he always does the class now, but we actually started from the end and worked our way backwards, which is a way, but I know for me, and at the end of this, I'll run through my list, more or less, of my experiences. But to me, that is not, that didn't work well. There was a lot of confusion. We spent an excessive amount of time on it. And like I said, we could have worked that out and actually doing it and getting reps in, not necessarily live, but doing it dry. It was just, to me, it was just a complete goat rope. So yeah, that was another deal. What else was on there? Yeah, I think that was the big deal. I think I had started doing this, my video earlier, but yeah, so I think I talked about the money back guarantee at this one, and yeah, like I said, I opted not to go to approach him, and it wasn't put up at the end of class to take him up on it. So like I said, to me, I don't care. I can certainly appreciate the amount of effort he's put into it. We did hear that he's now the third largest, I guess by people trained is the measure, the third largest in Tennessee. I wouldn't, I don't know how he determined that, but that's what he said. And there were 10 of us in the class. So like I said, I don't know what capacity is or what the measure of was, but and at the end of the day, I don't really care. It'd be the largest or the smallest. Me as the end user, I want quality instruction, and I want it in a manner that is going to produce solid results. And I will say that, I mean, most of us, there were a couple beginners in it, and they did fine, and there was improvement from the beginning to the end. And I picked up some stuff, like I was saying there, that I'm going to try and use and incorporate. To try and check myself too, just on so the course description, I had my wife read it, and off of her reading, she thought that it would be more of an advanced type class, which that's what I kind of thought too, which if you go back to my my prep video for this, I mentioned in it, because it doesn't say anything about show up with a zeroed rifle, which to me, I'm like, I want to see that I'm going to do that, especially as and I'm trying to look at this as a new shooter, but as an experienced shooter, I'm like, okay, like in the video, how is this going to work out? Because some of the other places I've been will tell you show up with a zeroed rifle. And then, but tell me in the description, like, hey, we're going to zero, which is fine. And that was actually some pretty good information. And while it wasn't a horrible time thief this time around, and I did learn some stuff on it. So it was pretty structured and was cut off at an appropriate time. I think we did 4 times. 4 5-round shot groups, I think is what it was. And there might have been a 5th one, because we had one other guy that needed a little extra, and that I don't have a problem with that. You want to get guys caught up. Let me see. I got to get back to. I took several pages of notes. Yeah, I thought I was. was doing a round count to begin with, so I was sitting here all crazy looking looking at my notes. Yeah, I want to say it was 4 or 5. Yeah, I kind of want to make sure I'm right on this, but yeah, I'm gonna say it was I think it was 4 times, and then like I said, that 5th one, I could be off on that, but by one or so. So yeah, it was like an hour and a half. But I said even that I picked up a few things from there, and then yeah, what else was it? Yeah, other than that, I'm saying I wouldn't train with them again. But so yeah, so like I said, that's the reason I wouldn't. So and just with any of these, and like I said to begin with, when I was doing this, you know, make up your own mind. Like I said, the material itself was pretty solid. A couple different ways of doing some things that I've learned differently at other schools. So yeah, like I said, that's that. So like I said, so for me and my background, I spent almost 25 years in the Army. I was a non-commissioned officer for, I guess when I was 3 years, 7 months, I was promoted to sergeant. So from that period on, I was an instructor. I served as a drill sergeant for 3 years. I was a basic training drill sergeant at Fort Jackson. I was an observer controller, so that's a trainer at Fort Irwin, California, and that was in the capacity. I was a first sergeant trainer at the company level. And just as an NCO, that's one of your primary functions is training. So as a squad leader, you know, is just an NCO running around as a platoon sergeant. That was my job. So I trained people, and I've seen a lot of things. I've taken a lot of training this year alone. I think at least one every month so far this year, with one more to go. I haven't counted it up to see, but so and I've trained several different places: Tactical Response, Valor Ridge. I've trained now Patriot training, which this is actually my 2nd class at Patriot training. Gun sight. I've trained where else? Sage Dynamics. Couple small Mean Streets Tactical, which I don't think they're even training anymore. The schools I've been to in the Army, the leadership schools. I was a leadership instructor. Just kind of randomly running through it as it comes up. I went to a police academy. I was a cop for a while. What other? I'm trying to think of some of the other schools I've been to. Oh, John Farnham. Trained with John Farnham. Prairie Fire in Nevada. Ghost Ring Tactical. I mean, not forget those guys. Green Line Tactical. I've trained with Don Edwards. And yeah, so this is the first one I've said I wouldn't go back to, and I ain't gonna lie, it hurts. Because I want people to be better, and you know, to me the instruction for this was just not there. I said it's my time. I paid to be there. I want my time utilized, and I understand you're not going to be doing like, you know, go, but yeah, it was yeah, we just so much time wasted that I'm here doing this video, and so much so that I'm probably going to push over 20 minutes on the video, just hearing myself ramble about it. But and yeah, so like I said, I think I've got about everything in here that I want to put in. You know, if and truly I think Clay may take some of this to heart and maybe change some things. Maybe not. at the end of the day, it's his school, and he gets to run it how he wants. And I'm not the guy doing the school. And I was, so this is the first class I took, was his class number 22 is what I recall being said in the class. And this one, I think, was, he was saying 152. So he's given, you know, classes, not just this particular one, if I understand it correctly, but 152 classes. And I will tell you from the first one that I took, it's the instruction method was pretty similar. I will say that my recollection of it between then and now, some of the material has changed, and for the better. So, and you know, he mentioned in there in his class to go take other classes. I mentioned in there that, you know, he's taking stuff from other schools, incorporating it into his, which, you know, that's how it works. You want to improve your own school, so you go other places. You want to improve as a student of the gun. You go to different instructors. You hear things different. You hear different techniques. You practice them, and you either use them or you don't. That's not all techniques work the same or work the same for everybody. So, and yeah, so yeah, make up your own mind about it. I said, you know, and yeah, so it just kind of is what it is. And I wanted to get this video out, and it'll get posted tonight. Just because he asked us to do this, and then I'll do something different on the next video for Tuesday. I think I did use the Sons of Liberty Gunworks rifle, and didn't get yeah, I guess see the video, but so I think that's how we'll do that. So yeah, I appreciate your time here. If this was helpful to you, I certainly hope it was, or you got some value out of it. Like it, whack that like button, subscribe, hit the notifications, do the things. You know, and I think some of the guys, I don't know if the guys there will subscribe to it or check out the video, but you know, any comments on it, if you got a different perspective, feel free, please put it down there. Just ask that it, you know, be productive. I mean, and if I misspoke on anything, I mean, make the correction. That's fine by me. This is, you know, it's my opinion, and you know, if I got some of the facts wrong, then that's fine. I'll own that. But I said, I would be hard pressed to attend another class at Patriot training. So yeah, like I said, I appreciate your time. I appreciate if you watched it all the way through. Yeah, we'll see you at the next one. So, Tom Davis, Red 4 Reviews. It is your duty to be well regulated. Stay dangerous.